All right. Some good news here. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats are on the run completely. Friday's job numbers were spectacular. Moving off the collusion hoax and the Ukraine hoax for a minute. Friday's job numbers were stellar. Folks, I got to be honest with you here. Even I was surprised. I am not a Debbie Downer when it comes to President Trump or Danny Downer in my case or the economy. I'm just worried about the significant debt load we have. And I'm worried that the Democrats and Rhino Republicans are going to spend us into an abyss we're not going to be able to escape from. I was expecting a number closer to 200,000 jobs created. Check out this Washington Examiner report. You'll see it in the show notes today by their editorial board. Strong jobs report is a disaster for doomsayers and Democrats. Disaster. Folks, 266,000 jobs. Do you have any idea what kind of number that is for a month? It was huge. 10 years into a recovery, this was an enormous number. There's a couple of takeaways for this and why this matters. I said in the beginning of the poll, of the show, I would address polls. Axios has a report out. I'll put it in the show notes today, even though they do a lot of fake news over there too. Swing state polls in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania have turned dramatically in the favor of President Trump. Dramatically. This impeachment hoax is blowing up on them. They're moving to other hoaxes and scandals. 2020 is not legitimate. I already showed you that in the beginning of the show, as you've seen. This is important stuff. The jobs report is a debacle for them because their fallback when all of this fails, impeachment, Mueller, collusion, Ukraine gate, whistleblower gate, when all this fails, Joe, their fallback is this: let's make it a change election. But you're probably asking yourself now, change what? Folks, let's just be candid, okay? There are two kinds of elections out there. Simply, things are going great, vote for more of the same. Remember Ronald Reagan? We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? So message number one in any election would be, I've instituted a set of policies that are working for you. Let's continue them. Just happened with, Larry Hogan, who I'm not a huge fan of, a Republican in a blue state in Maryland, who, acts like a rhino most of the time, but he got reelected in Maryland as a Republican in a landslide. His basic message was, hey, things are going great here. Why mess with it? He wasn't wrong. Wish he'd be more of a Republican sometimes, but that's a whole different story. That's the first type of election. Joe knows it well. He's still up in Maryland.
Yeah.
The second type of election is, hey, things really suck and it's time to change things. Remember Obama? Hope he changey. Remember that? I mean, it's not complicated, folks. There's really two meta messages, macro messages you can run on. Things are great. I did it. Let's continue it. Or things suck and I'm here to change it. Now, there's all kinds of subsets and things. We get that. But my question to you is, if Donald Trump is running on, hey, the economy's motoring along, I've got the numbers to prove it. Look at your 401k and look at the job numbers. And the Democrats' message is the opposite. Things suck, let's change them. What evidence do they have that that's true? Listen, unfortunately, we're in such debt, I'm afraid things could downturn any minute. But they're not. And the president is instituting a set of policies, tax cuts and deregulation, getting the red tape out of the way, that is assisting this economic boom to continue in an unprecedented fashion. So if this is either a continue election or a no change in election, the question for the Democrats is obvious. Change what? What do you want to change? You're running to change this. Pretty soon voters are going to say, okay, change what? My 401k, my job? What do you want to change?
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.